life is going to happen. You have to be able to become comfortable with being uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
You also have to control what you can control, and what you can't control, you just have to let it fall by the wayside.
Yes.
You know, so
yes.
and one of those things that I've always been in tune with, you know, because being a African American male, you know, you look at things like diabetes and high cholesterol, and you know, all of the different cardiac issues that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in my mind, exercise is one of those things that can kind of minimize that.
Yes.
What's going to happen
mitigate
is going
the
to happen.
circumstances. Yeah, yes.
But you know, if I can mitigate the circumstances in any way to make it more positive for myself and others around me, you know, that's kind of what I do. So.
Hey, what's going on, everybody? I'd like to welcome you to another episode of the Just Keep Showing Up podcast. I'm sitting here with Mr. Humphrey Hills. How you doing? How you doing, Hump, man?
I'm doing fantastic,
doing
brother.
fantastic.
I appreciate the opportunity to sit down with you for this.
Yeah, and I appreciate you taking the time. I don't take that for granted at all, man. So thank you so very much for doing this. We want to start the podcast off just kind of, if you want to share like a background about yourself, whatever you're willing to share, just so the people know who's talking to them.
All right. Well, no problem. You know, first and foremost, born and raised in New Orleans. Been doing the Army thing for quite some time. Some things people really don't know about me. I started out as a reservist. I spent 12 and a half years of active duty in the enlisted ranks, and for the past coming up on 12 years, I've been a warrant officer. So just been navigating the treacherous waters of the Army, enjoying the journey along the ride.
Okay, all right. So this is the Just Keep Showing Up podcast. You know, a lot of us go through different challenges in our life, and we all have different reasons of why we do what we do. And something I can say specifically for you is, you know, we linked up on Instagram, and one thing you don't miss is your morning workout. And I often laugh about this. Somebody else that actually follows you on Instagram, a friend of mine, Shine Hickman, I was like, this brother will go on a 12-mile run and then come back and do like an 8-mile cool down run the next day. I'm like, but that's his thing. I know he get out and work out, and that's something he does for himself. You know what I mean? So I just want to take some time to share some of the things that you do for yourself to keep showing up. You know, within this profession that you work, that's difficult. We all got family life. You got kids. You know, I know there's a lot of different things that you do for yourself to continue to show up for yourself.
All right. So, you know, you mentioned the fitness piece. You know, being that I've been doing this Army business for, you know, little over 25 years, PT is free. You know, physical training is free. And what I've determined or came to the realization of, the earlier you do it, the better.
Mm-hmm.
You know, because one thing about leaders I'll speak for myself. One thing about me, you know, when I lay down to go to sleep at night, that's when the hamsters start turning.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people may be able to relate to that.
Yeah.
You know, so I don't know if it's anxiety or, you know, narcolepsy or whatever it may be, but, you know, so waking up in the morning and actually doing that physical training, I actually decompress from the night before to make it a smooth transition into the day ahead.
Okay.
Because what I have noticed, I take so-called rest days, and during those rest days, the entire day is a rest day. You know, so I have to be really strategic about what days I choose not to exercise, because, you know, some people need coffee, I need exercise.
Gotcha. Yes. Okay. All right. So if anybody's listening to this and it's things that you said, or just any kind of advice you want to give to people, you've had a very very successful career. You've had an opportunity to, we had a chance when we first started working together, we were both instructors, you know, and I know you're very, very passionate about teaching.
Yep.
You've come through the Army on the, you know, we say starting from the bottom, you know, you was enlisted, and then you kind of grew through that. None of us show up in this world perfect or show up in this Army thing perfect. Right. One thing I will tell you I absolutely 100% admire about you is the fact that you did it your way. And what I mean by that, you showed up as you. You know, I never felt like you you transition from who you was at the core, like where you from, representing the city that you from, representing like with your accent. You know what I mean? You still have your accent. Definitely represent where you from. I know your family is extremely proud of you. And here it is now, went through the ranks, very successful on the enlisted side. You know, then you decide to become a warrant officer.
Yep.
And extremely passionate. And the fact that I'm sitting in this office right now within this command suite, knowing this was somebody I used to work with, you know, when we was like young soldiers. Yep. And now you sit in this position where you have senior leaders coming to you for advice and talking to you. That doesn't just happen. You know what I mean? There's things that you have to do within your life. You can't necessarily guarantee to end up where you are, but you can take the proper steps.
Yep.
And hopefully, you know, have the potential to put yourself in this position. So I think that's something worthy to be honored and to be to talked about. And if there's somebody listening, you know what I mean, that you can inspire, what would you say for that person?
So there's a couple ways I would approach that. The first thing, you know, and we talk about this quite often, but humility.
Yes.
You know,
Yeah.
Humility will take you far in life, just based off, you know, I know I don't know everything, but I surround myself with knowledgeable people, and I surround myself with positive people, you know. So that's one of the ways that has had me so successful. I'm always looking for a way to get better, you know. So we look at the after action review. You know, I don't just use the after action review as a training tool. It's actually a part of my life. You know, everything that I do in life comes with an after action review.
Yes.
You know, what was supposed to happen? What happened? What can I do to make it better? You know, that's things that I constantly. I mean, you know, with the workouts. Yeah. You know, I have to always keep myself focused on something different because I don't want to be stagnant. You know. So humility is the first thing, and then empathy. You know, understanding. You know, my background, and it's some stuff I'm not going to share just based off, you know, this is a public forum.
Yeah, I got you. Yeah. No need to share. Yeah, I got you.
Know, I actually know what the bottom is.
Yes.
You know, and to mature over the years, like you mentioned, you know, I've been doing this for a while. A lot of, you know, not even just young soldiers, seniors, you know, seniors, I can see myself in them. You know, so I choose to be able to be that positive influence, to just give them a decision. You know, give them a different outlook on it. Give them a different way to think about the situations that's going on. You know, and then on top of that, you know, I've always been instilled with tough times don't last long, but tough people do. You know, it's going to rain. It might be for 40 days and 40 nights, but eventually the sun gonna come out. Yes. You know, so you just, you know, weather the storm and prepare for the sunshine. Yeah. You know, so negativity is gonna always surround us. You know, so the more carrying that positive attitude and living that positive life, it actually makes the days go by faster.
That's good, man.
You know, and just make life better.
Yeah, I agree. I want to say this because I know for me, I sit here and look at you. You're a very, very confident person, very confident. But I know, me knowing you, I know your confidence is rooted in your preparation. Sure. Yes, you show up somewhere, you've done your homework, you've prepared for. I just know that in you, that you've prepared. So when you're talking to someone, you're confident within yourself because you've done your homework, you've done that work before. You know, so I think that's a really good thing. Humility and empathy, that's like phenomenal, man. Allowing what you just said, just understanding that I once too was there, and here's some options that you have, and here I stand today. There's still hope. There's still opportunities for you to continue to reach your goal. You know what I mean? And that's really, really good. And I'll tell you something else that so this was just last year with you and I, where you started like these fitness challenges. And it's almost like something I appreciate is how you can plant a seed. And it's not what I was thinking about this year when I start doing. I'm doing like pull-ups this year. I'm doing 600. I'm doing 600 pull-ups. I'm doing 600 pull-ups for the month, and that's not to try to brag about that, but that is a seed that's growing in me that you planted in me last year when we was doing those challenges. So now this year I find myself like I can do something just to try to. It's just about me trying to do a little bit more than I can. And it came from you just inviting me to join you on this little journey. So I sincerely appreciate that. And like next month is like almost like something else I'm gonna try to do, but it's all rooted back around to what you deposited in me, and I really appreciate that. And that's something I think as you sit in this seat, you can see what you're doing for your profession. You know what I mean? And that's a really good thing. And also talking about those tough times, man. It's the truth. You know what I mean? It's like we all go through difficult things. So, yep. Is anything else, man, that you want to say or do before we close this out?
I mean, I can go all day. It's one of those things. Life is going to happen.
Yes.
And this is to all of the viewers that are the listeners that's out there that might hear this podcast. Life is going to happen. You have to be able to become comfortable with being uncomfortable. Mm-hmm. You also have to control what you can control, and what you can't control, you just have to let it fall by the wayside.
Yes.
And one of those things that I've always been in tune with, because being a African American male, you look at things like diabetes and high cholesterol and all of the different cardiac issues that can happen. Mm-hmm. In my mind, exercise is one of those things that can kind of minimize that.
Yes.
What's going to happen is going to happen.
Circumstances. Yes.
But if I can mitigate the circumstances in any way to make it more positive for myself and others around me, that's kind of what I do. So if you follow me on Instagram or Facebook, and you might look at some of my workouts, just understand it's not trying to outdo nobody. It's not trying to be better than anybody except for myself.
Well, I'll ask you this, because I know the answer for me. Do you find the fact that you do everything you can do, you mitigate your circumstances, so when you get the results of things, you can be at peace about it?
Absolutely.
Yes.
I appreciate everything. If I can save $2 a month, and have $24 at the end of the year, I feel accomplished. I never take anything for granted.
That's good, man.
A small win is a big win. Because small wins add up to big wins.
That's wisdom, man.
It all reverts back to that humbling word, humility.
And it's like and that's something that I often say, like I heard from Will Smith, is like the brick by brick process. Understanding the power of a little.
Absolutely.
When you add consistency to it, and you add like determination, and one huge thing is effort. That's another thing I would say with you, man, is the effort piece. You know what I mean? Nobody can out effort you, because that's you and you. It don't take a whole lot of intelligence to put effort forth, and that could take you so far. You know what I mean? That could take you very, very far if you're just applying effort. So, all right, man. I really appreciate it, man. I appreciate your time. I don't take it for granted. I sincerely appreciate it, man.
Oh man, I appreciate you. I appreciate the opportunity, and again, anything that I can do to assist you in making a positive change,
Yes, sir.
Feel free to reach out. I'll always make myself available if I don't have the time.
Gotcha. Appreciate it. All right, y'all. Thanks everybody for checking out the show. Until next time, peace.